What's up? What's up? What's up, family? Family. Let me fix something real quick. Because I have a show tonight. I am actually going to push it out because I do want to invite some people and I have not thoroughly planned it out yet. Let me see when I can reschedule it. Uh, I'm trying to see the best time to reschedule it because kiddo is gonna be with me for a little bit, and y'all know how it is. So, and I want to give everybody an opportunity to say yay or nay if they can do it. So I'm gonna push the church hurt back to the 9th. I'm still gonna do other stuff, but I want to push it back to the 9th because I'm going to reach out to a couple of other people and engage them because I want to kind of talk and I want to say, hey, hello, family, hello. I want to talk about church hurt and deal with the black exodus out of the church, as my brother Rev T coined it, the ebony exodus. Ebony exodus. I loved how he put that together. So I'm gonna kind of, if you watch Rev C, I'm gonna steal that from you. To talk about why are black people leaving the conventional or the popular church or just the church overall. And I really believe that some of it is due to not dealing with touchy subjects within the church. If it be church hurt from incidents that may have transpired, if by way of rape, molestation, or fornication, or baby out of wedlock, and everybody want to keep everybody quiet because it's the pastor's child. Those type of conversations, because people have coined the word church hurt to demonize the person that's hurt sometimes. And in some cases, people are walking around here with church hurt because they don't want to be corrected. So let me go back. So my brother Mike Holloway, love him. He made a point to talk about church hurt and how sometimes, and I'm gonna emphasize sometimes because he did say sometimes, it had to deal with correction and how someone can't deal with correction, so they're church hurt and they leave. I try to tell people to be careful with saying that because in some cases church hurt is legitimate, and you don't want people to feel like they're being demonized if they. And in fact, people that are church hurt don't say church hurt. It's usually the people that's trying to demonize them that refer to the term church hurt. Yeah, go to the pastor that scatter my flock. This whole point, J High style. And I'm only going to touch on the subject because I don't want to delve into it because I want to invite a panel conversation on it. But when people say church hurt, understand that the demonizer at times is using that word to shut some people up, but they don't want to deal with church victimization or member victimization or the victimizer demonizing the one that is victimized. In so many cases, we get quiet when the victimizer is the pastor, or the victimizer is the deacon, or the victimizer is first lady. We've seen that. Or the victimizer is somebody who's well established in the church. So they never, in some cases, they don't want to delve into it, or the public figure. Great example is Ravi Zachariah. Great example. He was a victimizer, and he victimized women, and they kept it kind of silent. People knew this wasn't just something that just popped up out of nowhere. People probably knew and they kept it silent. So that's a case of, let me give me some more on y'all. So they don't want to talk about that. And I don't know if Zechariah had victimized anybody in his church, but he still was a victimizer in the sense of the word. So again, that's an instance of someone who's very popular that people kind of stay back from. They didn't start dealing with it until later. Another great example of a victimizer, Eddie Long. We all know the story of Eddie Long. Eddie Long, very, 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 very well-known pastor. I think out of Atlanta. I think it was out of Atlanta, molesting boys. And ultimately, he passed away because of that package family. Possibly that package. Possibly that package. I don't want nobody to say I'm putting it out there. We've seen instances like that. These are very, very well-known people that oh, am I breaking up? Hold on 1 second. Hold on, let me move around somewhere. Hold on. I'm getting home soon. Hold on, family. Is it better now? Y'all, this is funny. I'm having to do my live in my childhood bedroom. Because the internet in the room that I usually do the lives in is horrible. It's just I can't, it's horrible. So family, I'm headed home. So with that being said, that's another reason why I haven't been doing a lot of lives, because my mom's internet is kind of choppy. You know how older people, am I still breaking up? Hit 1 if y'all can hear me. 2 if y'all can't. Well, if y'all can't hear me, y'all ain't gonna hit 2. But if I'm clear, hit 1. 1 if y'all can hear me. All right, Saints. Has it gotten any better or has it gotten any worse? It's gotten better? Okay. Or is it still choppy? Tell me if it's still choppy in the chat. Okay. Is it still breaking up? Yes or no? Okay. All right. All right. So hopefully, hold on 1 second. Hopefully all right, family. All right. So oh God, y'all, I got to hurry up and get back home, get back to my normal setting. But back to my point. You have Reverend Zechariah. You have instances where you have Eddie Long. You have situations where the victimizer has no voice because the victimizer is scared of becoming something called, have y'all ever read the book when we was in high school called Scarlet Letter? They don't want their scarlet letter put on them. While the parishioners are hiding behind their sin, the person who's victimized has the scarlet letter put on them. But the person who did what they did never got dealt with. So people that are victimized sometimes have a tendency to sit silent. And with that, questioning the faith when the people that are the face or the shepherds are abusing them. So again, this conversation is for the abused or the ones that are victimized in a lot of these assemblies or churches. And I'm not just gonna say in the Christian church, but I'm gonna say even in the Israelite church, victimization happens. Women are told to be quiet, sit silent, and abused in their positions, and told to do what, but don't have a voice. That happens on both sides of the aisle. So we cannot. I'm trying to see. My mama's internet is choppy. Hold on, y'all. I am actually in my childhood room doing a live, because in that other room the internet goes in and out. Hold on, y'all. I will be home in a couple of days. Praise God. Hold on. All right, family. Bear with me. My laptop is about to die. Okay. But that's what I want to talk about. And let people tell their stories. Like I said, we always want to is that chicken? What are y'all talking about? Y'all don't be talking about me because I'm sitting in the floor of my childhood bedroom doing a live. That's hilarious. But with that being said, it's time for these type of conversations. Now I'm gonna say this: I'm not taking away from the fact that those who are don't like correction and leaving churches and assemblies, I'm not upholding them, because they have to be discussed as well. But right now, I want to be able to talk about the term church hurt. Where did church hurt come from? Nobody who's been hurt or victimized by the church is walking around here saying I'm church hurt. No, I really believe that term was coined by the victimizer to shut the victimizer up. So I want to kind of talk about that, family. I myself was not victimized in the church. I wasn't, but I knew people that were victimized. I saw women that were labeled as being hoish. And at the same time, they were messing with some of the same pastors that had wives. And these same men were messing around with more than one woman. But because he was a pastor, nobody said anything or corrected him. But they tagged this lady or a couple of people I know as being hoish. So they got a scarlet letter put on their back. And then not to mention, people like Larry Reed and a couple of other people I hear that do shows on YouTube talking about pastors that are walking around here molesting boys, having homosexual relationships, or more so turning out. The corn turned out came from where young boys will come into the church looking for father figures or looking for a mentor, and end up coming across some type of pedophile or some sick individual who wanted to do things that they shouldn't be doing, and we get these young boys and turn them out. And these were leaders of the church. I've heard of numerous stories of young boys coming into church one way and leaving another way. And then not to mention, when they turn them out, they pass them around. See, we won't talk about that. There's some skeletons, there's a whole graveyard. They not only turn these boys out, but they pass them around amongst their little group. And it's literally like, it's sickening. And then that person ends up just messed up and just can't get it together. That's why we got situations where people are leading to drug abuse, alcoholism, and I'm not saying that they're doing it. Sometimes in some cases it's things that happen within their household, but I'm talking about what I've seen. And not in my church. Now, I praise God that my church that I grew up in, they wasn't having it. They wasn't. In fact, they protected the young people. My Baptist church I grew up in, they protected the young people. In fact, none of us really sang in community choirs or got in that community choir scene because they were very protective of us. They, everything we did within our confounds of our church. You have youth day, it'll be us. We didn't have a lot of community choirs float. In fact, I don't think we had community choirs floating through our church when I was coming up as a kid. We had men, examples of men in our church. It wasn't no thing of a young boy come in and get turned out. No, they wasn't doing that in my church when I was a kid. They wasn't going. So I praise God for that protection in that environment, because it was a safe environment for kids when I was coming up. Because the youth department when I was coming up was just the parents were over the youth department. It wasn't drop the kid off and a bunch of pastors go in, or church musicians, or do what they didn't take the kids. It was the parents created the youth department where I came from, and they protected the children if they were their own. And with that, I had a very sheltered life when it came to my early years in church, because it was somewhat like a family church. So I didn't see that until I got older and started going into the community choir scene. And in fact, the funny thing is, and I'm gonna tell y'all a little story. I started singing in a small group. And the small group I sang in, it was full of young people. We were all 19 and 20 years old. Hormones racing. We was just all over the place. And we sang together. And it wasn't, we didn't have a lot of homosexuality in my first group. It was more so of a heavy heterosexuality in my first group. Yes, just gonna be honest. Yeah, it was a lot of that going on. It was, yeah, everybody was young and just dating everybody except for me. That's weird. I think I had like one person I really dated in that group. That, yeah, but it was a lot going on in that group. Um, so I really didn't get any pushback about singing in that group. But when I started singing with another group, is when people started having conversations with me saying, yo, you heard about this. Be careful out there. Um, don't get out there and get caught up. Now we get ready to sing in a gospel choir now. And you got people talking to me like I'm getting ready to go into the world about being careful. Should never be the case of that conversation. And when I got in, I saw why. And not just within my choir, but floating choir scenes. There were other choirs. We have community choir concerts, gossip going on, a lot of stuff going on, drugs, folks fighting, and it was just a lot going on. So I didn't get exposure to that until I started going with the major choirs. Now, my small group that I sang with, we were good. But the major choirs, and I started interacting with other major choirs and being on stages and being at Stella Awards and all this stuff, is when you saw all of it come out. So you had a bunch of people that had issues. So the reason I'm telling that story is I just want to clear people, let that be known, because I actually as a kid, went to a historical Black church. And that church was clean. It was good. I don't want nothing to get out there. Wait, that was going on in your church? No, E. It was not going on in Eve's church when I was a kid. It was more so in the choir scene. But with that being said, in that scene, heard a lot of stories. I heard a lot of things. Oh, that one turned that one out. Oh, you see somebody young come in, fresh, new, and they would look at them like they were fresh meat. Funny thing is, when I first joined my choir, I was young, and young girl. I was 21 years old, 20 years old, but I wasn't stupid. But I came off as naive. Had already had a full conversation with some friends about the environment, and be careful, because the women were trying to turn young girls out just as fast as the men was trying to turn young boys out. And I saw the vipers in multiple groups. And when I saw the vipers, I instantly kind of got guarded, but I ended up hanging out with a whole other group that was pretty much all of them were straight. It wasn't anything like that going on. But you saw them prey on the young ones. I was 20 years old, and I was in a group with older people. And then I was in an environment with older people, and you see how they look at you like they literally, and not just in my choir, I'm just talking about all choirs. All choirs. When you go to these choir concerts, you new and fresh, you fresh meat. And you have to be guarded. You have to be guarded. So with that being said, you just hear stories. Certain pastors doing certain things. You see pastors doing certain things. You get offers from certain pastors to do certain things. And it's not what people think it is. I tell the people of the story that a lot of the hardest thing about being in a choir and seeing people being the victimizers the victimized starting to be the victimizers, to see the end result of all this victimization. You have children being born out of wedlock, which is an endless cycle. And these same victimizers end up helping. Some of the victimizers end up being around the small children because there's no father figure in the house. You see that. You see pastors praying on women, and I say death by tithe. They play on your emotions, and God's gonna bless you with a car. God's gonna bless you with a house. God is gonna bless you with a husband, and their life is raggedy. It's a form of victimization to me. Instead of teaching them the truth and the word of God, they give them a pipe dream and let them continue in their sin. That was my problem. I was married, and I eventually got divorced and being in church, shout and fall out on the floor, and then be just as crazy and just all over the place. And I'm not saying I was victimized. I wasn't, because like I said, I was guarded. But it's just that was the environment. Don't nobody want to talk about the dirty side of the world over there in some of these church scenes. Or better yet, or even worse, I don't want to say better yet, but even worse, being friends with someone, y'all coming up together at the age of meeting at 8 or 19 years old, running together, going to these choir concerts, and by the time he's 30, he looks like he's 50. And then you later on find out some of these people you came up with are dead and gone at early ages, 35 and 36 years old. And we already know, usually in most cases, what they died of. But the question is, where did it start? So again, I've heard of stories, like I said, of some people being, Eddie Long stories. So when I hear people say church hurt, and bless his heart, Michael Holloway, that's my boy. I'm cool with Mike, my boy, and I know where he was coming from. That's why he said some, and I'll say that. We can talk about the some, because we know that the some are those who don't want to be corrected. And some of those that are being corrected are usually the victimizers, and somebody then caught it and correct them. Seen that happen too as well, and they leave and go to another church. That's when you get into the term of church hopping. So they're being corrected, but you've seen other places where the victimizer is being chastised in church about their lifestyles, and it's usually the victimizer is being chastised by the victimizer in the pulpit. And then after they chastise them about their sin, go behind it and send messages to them about doing inappropriate things. And these are not just men. I ain't talking about just homosexuality, but I'm talking about heterosexuality too. Women are victimized. I've seen cases of pastors beating the brakes off of the women that they either married to or dating. I'm talking about beating the brakes off of them, and he's still in the pulpit. So I kind of want to talk about the ugly side of it. Because we got to figure out why people are leaving. Some are leaving and still are close to the Most High God. They're not leaving body of Christ. They're just leaving the craziness and the foolishness. Whoever this Dorothy is, y'all block this comment. I don't know what it is with these strange messages people are doing. So mods, y'all watch this, because I don't know. It's something called VOA something that they typing up. So y'all please block them. Because if you leave something that isn't legible, I'm gonna block you. So please block them. I saw a couple people slipping here. They doing weird messages. So I don't know if these is you. The devil is a lie. I don't know what it is, but we good here. But like I said, I mean, I'm talking about beating them to a pulp and still standing in the pulpit preaching. I've seen that. I've seen a lot of stuff. And again, people are not leaving the faith in some cases. Some people are leaving the foolishness and want the Most High. And then what I see is when people are leaving, they're hurt. And they carry that hurt to the next assembly. And sometimes that's when they turn into the victimizer. Or they carry that hurt with them, and somebody else senses that weakness coming off of you and do the same thing. And they go from one church to the next church, to the next church. And it's becoming layers of hurt. Layers of hurt. Because understand that some of these pastors, these churches all float in the same network. And they'll pass word, oh, that one right there is X, Y, and Z. And wolves sometimes do that. I've seen it. Not all of them, but the wolves will see it and pass word. I've even heard of most cases of women being groomed to, or how can I say, a madam. There was a madam here in Memphis, considered to be a madam, but the madam was for the pastors, to have women, out of town pastors will come in town and they will want a woman to be with them. They ain't got their wife with them. And yeah, and they would hook them up. And they can have a hookup thing. I've heard of that, victimization. And I'm not saying the person who's doing it is being victimized, but hey, and some of those women that were, doing their little thing with these pastors actually go to church, are heavy in church. So, yeah, it's a lot. It's a lot. I praise God, the Most High God, that even though I was in it, I wasn't in it. I wasn't in it. And I ain't finna brag on myself, but I'm finna just say it. 21-year-old Sister E, I wasn't no joke. I ain't saying no joke like I was doing something bad, but sis used to be clean, on point, always on point. I always had somebody, always on point. Because I always had older people around me. Because of that, my dress, my clothes, everything was on point. Hair had to be on point. Wore nothing but the nicest suits. Because I used to work for a retail company. I ain't gonna say their name, but I used to get they suits, the lady suits with the dresses and the jackets and the blouses. I used to get that on discount because of my employee discount. So sis used to be clean, always on point. So I ain't finna sit here and play like they wasn't in my face. But I had enough sense too as well. Oh yeah, had them heels. Heels to the heavens. That's all I got to say. Man, I'm going to show y'all a picture of the heels that I used to wear. And I still got some, y'all. And I just look at them and just be like, girl, you're going to break your ankle if you want to. Guard, it's going to be one of them on the panel. Don't worry about it, Guard. I'm going to hit you up. I may pull up the old Sunday Seminary crew. We're going to have that conversation about the Exodus and church hurt. So Sister E wasn't what I was, think about it. 21-year-old Sister E, come on now. Come on. I wasn't no joke, but I wasn't stupid either. So because of that, Game recognizes game. I was raised around my uncle and my dad, and they taught me how to recognize game, even in the church, how to recognize game. My dad, my dad let me know because they call themselves a pastor. Don't take it face value. They're still a man. So I wasn't in awe of someone be like, oh, bishop or apostle said something. Dude, you a dude just like any other man. You got desires and needs just like any other man. Let me be careful because yeah, I'm not finna be on your list. I was smart, baby. Anything I did, I wanted to do. I will say that much. Anything I did, it was what I wanted to do. It wasn't no game. It was a decision I made. Um, because again, game recognized game. So some of them pulpit pimps, I was like, not here for it. But yeah, I was blessed to not be in it. Put it like that. I wasn't. It wasn't first and foremost. He was never into the other side of the world where women were dibbling and dabbling. On the other side, messing with women. No, 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 no. Mm-mm-mm. That was never my thing. That was in fact gross to me, and I'd be like, but they would get on that side and get turned out, and it was a lot going on. And I used to be the one just sit and watch and just be like, y'all doing the most. Y'all doing the most. But a lot of them was acting out of either being victimized or being played or being pulled in by your emotions. They sense the hurt and pain, baby. They sense the Lord said you finna have a husband. But honey, let me talk to you for a minute. That's how they come to you. Let me talk to you for a minute. Let me minister to you. Let me pray you through, honey, and be the same at the same time, plotting and scheming, trying to figure out how to get into your, you know what, you grown people here. And if you were weak minded, they got you. But if you had a little bit of common sense about yourself, they would stay away from you. So in most cases, the victimizers stayed away from me. Um, so they never, me and my friends, they understood, no, leave us alone. Um, so I was never victimized. I'll say that much, and I can stand on it. I was never victimized, but I watched people being victimized. And I would in fact tell some people, that person playing you right. That person really ain't taking you serious. Um, so yeah, I never got caught up in it. I never got caught up. I just saw it and and witnessed a lot of it. So I wanted to kind of talk about that. You know, oh, it's some stuff that's going on. So that's why when people talk about church hurt, wait a minute, put the brakes on it. I hear more stories of people being victimized than walking around here leaving because they don't like correction. Let's be real. I hear more about the other side than I do about that. And we got to be honest and we got to be real. Um, and call it a day. It's real. It's true. It's out here. Again, game recognized game. When I walked into the choir scene and into the church scene, because they kind of all blending together. Understand that the choir scene and that church scene blends together, honey. And that's where I get a lot of my terms from too. Y'all hear me say certain things from church, um, like honey and all that, because we used to always say that. But it all kind of meshed together, so you could see it kind of blending. You never saw a divide between the church and the choir scene. And in that scene, man, you saw a lot. You saw a lot, and I just it was just put it like this: when I joined the choir scene, and then this is where I was going. One, you're dealing with someone who was in a very balanced church. I was in a very good church that was family centered. So I wasn't out there looking for attention, or I had never been put in a position of being victimized in church at a young age. So I knew nothing of it. You know, everybody in my church, my mom had grown up with as kids. My great grandmother was one of the first church members there. It was a very well known church in the city. Um, and I think, I think me and my sister are the last generation in my family to have been there because I eventually left. So because of that, I was in a protected environment. But because we were known for the music, certain pockets of us started going to different groups and different choirs. Well, the generation before me had sang in certain environments and been part of certain choirs. And at first, like I said, I was a part of a small group full of 19 and 20-year-olds. They didn't see that much of a threat. But when I got with the bigger group is when they started calling me and saying, hey, I heard you getting ready to sing with this group. Let me have a real talk with you about this environment, um, and let you know what really goes on. Um, so because of that, I got heads up. I knew what was going on, and I just sat and watched. And all of them would have the same story of doing things that being they wouldn't say it, but word of mouth is, oh, such and such got turned out. And again, he would be the one with the scarlet letter on his back, but the person who did it to him, they would never say anything to him. And it would be somebody major. And they would not hold these people accountable. And that is my problem. Because the cycle won't stop until the victimizer is stopped. Because guess what? The victimized is a victimized for a second, but when he gets of age, or she gets of age, she becomes the victimizer. Ask yourself this question. My daughter is a musician. Why did she not play with the church? Ask yourself this question. I've had church musicians that I know that I'm close with. Now, I'm cool with and I trust that can help her with a few things at that time. But just throwing her out into the wolves, oh no, 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 no. No, 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 I wasn't. And a lot of people was like, she can home in on her skills if you don't let her go into some of these churches and play for churches and do all it. And if she did, I was going to sit and watch. I was going to be there. I was going to make sure she was good while she was playing at the church. I wasn't going to leave my baby there. That's a shame. You got to do that. It's a shame you got to do that. It's a shame that you can't allow your child to get into that scene. But some parents love it. Oh, go ahead, baby. Go sing. Go play. And the victimizers are sitting there watching and saying, fresh meat. That's church hurt. That nobody stops it. And the behavior continues. It's an endless cycle. It's an endless cycle where the victimizer is victimized, then turns into the victimizer and victimizes someone else. And then that person becomes the victimizer. After he's been victimized enough or she's been victimized enough, she becomes the victimizer. It's an endless cycle. You start out as being victimized, and on the other end of it, you become a victimizer. Yep. See it to this day, it's still going on. So we're going to have a real conversation about what is church hurt. Why are so many of us, I'm going to be honest, why are so many of us reluctant of going into a lot of these churches now? Is it that we don't believe in God? No. We don't want to be involved in that cycle and cause our children to be involved in that cycle. What's interesting is when I was pregnant with my daughter, and I didn't know if it was a girl or a boy. And I remember, the first trimester and, going through the pregnancy, had high risk, and then actually made it to the point where I made it out of the high risk phase, and I was, still going as usual. And I remember when I was getting ready to find out if it was a boy or I had made a decision. I remember when I was when I was getting ready to find out if she was going to be a boy or a girl. I said, I was really scared that if it was going to be a boy, Because if I would have had a boy, I would totally bowed out of the church scene and the choir scene totally. I was not gonna take my son in that environment. It's different with a girl. It's a lot different with a girl. So when I found out I had a girl, even then I was very careful, very, very careful. I wasn't one of those that went to rehearsals or went to choir concerts. My daughter was always with me. No, she wasn't always with me. I was very protective of my daughter, and it's justified. Um, and that's when I had to realize I'm like, is this an environment that I want to be in where and it's just not in my city. It's not just in Memphis. Because folks will be like, that's just in Memphis. It's all over the U.S. Because I understand we all interacted with different groups and choirs in states and cities, and yeah, all the same. Recycled hurt. Um, with my daughter, I just was not. I still was very protective. But if I would have had a son, I said I was gonna cut everybody off and become pretty much an island by myself and raise him. If I would have had a boy, and like I said, when I found out I had a daughter, there's still a little bit more flexibility there, but I was still very careful. I was still very careful. So that's all you see in there now is the product of victimization is the end result of what we see now. Generational hurt. Generation being victimized and turned into victimizers. The women, it's gotten even worse with some of the things that I see with the women um, and the men. The men, it's been like that for a minute. You know, if they ain't gay, they got plenty of girlfriends. Sorry, y'all. If they not gay, they got plenty of girlfriends. And if they are gay, they got plenty of boyfriends. If they want what they want, they got plenty of both. That's what we used to call in the church greedy. When a man couldn't make a decision between a man or a woman, we just call them greedy. And that's why I lay it right there. They were greedy. Or the tithe. Put fear in people to tithe. That's another thing we saw. They always quote Malachi. They didn't say we're not bound by the law. And they would make people scared not to tithe. I remember there were times that I didn't have any money. I had probably enough money to probably get me and my daughter food. And this was when I first separated from my husband. And I wasn't making that much money at that time. I can be honest. I was making like, let's say $13 an hour. I probably was making a little bit more than that. I was working on a help desk. I'll say that much. That was pretty decent money back in 2013. No, 2000, not 13, but 2006. I was making between 13 and $15 an hour. And was taking care of my daughter by myself, and I wouldn't have a lot of money. And we'll go. I hated being in church when they started doing tithe and offering. I would try to find a way to get out of the church because they would throw that scripture on you. You know, would a man rob God? Would a man rob God? Let me look it up. I don't even read that scripture anymore. What is it? Malachi 3:8. Will a man rob God? Yet ye have robbed me. But ye say, wherein have we robbed you? In tithe and offering. When I heard that, I'd be like, I'm out. I got $20 and I'm not going to give you two. But I walk out feeling like I had done God wrong. I felt like I was like, God, I'm not giving you your tithe and offering. He like, they ain't giving me their tithe and offering either. So that's funny. Yep. And really that offering was for people like myself at that time who was struggling. We should never have to go to a bank and ask for anything. it was always money was always supposed to be put aside for the church, so that when we had a hard time, people had hard times, the church could see to them. I remember one time I sat in church, and I think I've told this story before. I heard a pastor talk about, you know, me and my wife pay tithe. Me and my wife pay tithe. You know, the bank know me. I walked to the bank. My wife wanted a brand new Infinity truck. Went into the bank, and they knew me when I walked in. And I signed my paperwork, and guess what? I walked out and I got that brand new Infinity truck outside. That's when I had said enough is enough. And everybody was shouting, and I'm sitting here saying, he rides the bus. She catches the ride with everybody all the time. This one right here, car is falling apart, barely is duct taped together. This one is actually walking to church. What is this? And it had the nerve to say, this is what happens when you pay your tithe. You have favor. And these people pay tithe. Or better yet, me, I wasn't paying at that time. I think I got to the point I started listening to Steve. That's when I was making that turn going into listening to Stephen Darby. That's when I really started shifting. I was like, I wouldn't give a plug nickel. And I was doing at that time, when that happened, I was doing very well for myself. And I won't say that the church was like, we're gonna pray for you to get the job, and you could do this, you could do that. I mean, the church did. I had front row seat. But I just sat there and I listened, and I looked back at the people that was shouting the hardest. And I mean, they was bucking hard. And I'm like, wait, hold on. So these, y'all don't realize what was going through my head at that time. I said, let me go home. And I think I haven't really been back since. And been back in a while. That's a form of victimization. That's a form of making you feel like, make you afraid of God. Like, he a bill. I got to pay this bill. And that's not how it works. I've heard pastors say, well, since you can't pay tithe, what you may need to do is cut that cable off. What? Yep, I've heard that. So that's a form of victimization. Where people are just, paying tithe and then walking the door and their lights cut off. Not to say God doesn't give them favor, but are we serving God or are we serving mammon? God had to show me, why you paying tithe? You owe quite a few people. You might want to take that money and go pay your bills and become a better steward before you lose your car. I really wasn't tithing like that though, but I tried to start tithing, and I was like, I ain't got no money, but really God didn't deal with me on the fact that I wasn't tithing. He was dealing with me because I wasn't a good steward. I wasn't paying my bills on time. I was doing everything possible. I was robbing Peter to pay Paul. He had to help me with that. That's where the conviction kicked in. But instead of teaching them financial stability, teaching them this. Why don't we have any financial stability classes to teach you how to pay your bills, how to get your credit fixed? It was a non-believer that taught me how to fix my credit. Ain't that something? But guess what? If you start teaching me how to live, how to maintain, I'm not gonna need you as much, So it's just a lot that I saw, and I kind of wanted to talk about it. I want to talk about it tonight. Here it is. I am talking about it. Ain't that something? But yeah, it's. I saw a lot. Now again, I'm not knocking believers or followers of the way. No, they're not doing this. I'm talking about these wolves. I can talk about these wolves if I want to. And the wolves have now coined this term church hurt. And I don't like that word. I don't like that word. I don't like that phrase because church hurt. Anybody walking around here saying they church hurt? People aren't saying that. Just I'm church hurt. That sounds so stupid. They're not saying that. But the victimizers, the wolves, are saying church hurt because if I tag you as being church hurt or demonize the term or make it church hurt demonized and make it seem like you don't like correction, you're going to scream less because what's going to happen is if you start screaming, hey, this pastor did this to me, or this deacon did this to me, or this first lady did this to me. If I scream that, then what I can do is say, I'm going to slap you with the label church hurt. People won't listen to you anymore. And guess what? They're going to say, you're a problem. And the person who's the problem is tagged you as that. Y'all get what I'm saying? So I really, really, really want to talk about this. Because after we get done singing Shema Israel and singing, and I love the song Shema Israel, and talk about all this stuff. There are people that are coming into our community hurt. And some of them going from one victimized place to another victimized place, being victimized. They go from, I love the word but hurt more. Those predators, yeah. Oh, that's so funny. But they're leaving one predator and going to another predator's environment. And there's something wrong. If they leave in one environment, toxic environment in the church, and go to another toxic environment in the Israelite community, something's really wrong with that. It's something really wrong with that. And that's something I would love for us to talk about, because it's something that's prevalent. It's prevalent in the church. It's prevalent in the Israelite church. It's prevalent, all over the place. So when are we gonna stop being when are we gonna be a home for the victimized to be able to help them get healed, so they don't turn into victimizers? But that's the plan of the conversation. I didn't want to. I know lately, that's the plan of the conversation I'm gonna have in the coming week. But I wanted to have a panel up here to talk through it. And I want to have more people that were in the church to talk about it. People in the Israelite community, I don't know. I gotta find some folks, but yeah, I wanna bring some people. Call the police. Yep, but a lot of these pastors, some of these pastors, got police connections. That's all I'm gonna say. But I want to have a full panel conversation. And bring some good people up here that's mature, and we can have a good dialogue, because the ultimate goal is to talk about the exodus out of the church and where people are they're going into the Kemetic community, they're going into the all types of belief systems because they've been hurt by the church, and then some are coming on our side of the world. They are. And we got to be there for them and help them through it, and not allow the victimizers in our community to prey on them. And just be what we're supposed to be, a light. So I know lately I've been trying to do lives or whatnot, and it's been kind of hard because I'm out of town right now. I'm actually going home this week. So with me going home this week, it'll be much easier because I have all my equipment, I have my microphone, I have better internet service, so it'll be better. So I'm planning to, like I said, have that conversation, but I didn't want to just not have it and reschedule it and not talk to y'all, because I try to do right by y'all, and I know lately, like I said, I've been canceling and rescheduling stuff because it's just hard to do lives where I am. So like I said, I'll be home next week, and we can have this dialogue. It's gonna be good. It's gonna be good. Like I said, I'm gonna get, find Jeff, and I want to talk. I want to see if Sister D will come into the conversation. bring in a couple other people and we can kind of talk about it. And go from there. Oh yes, a lot of them going into this. Yes, it's a lot of them going into this. This ancestor worship. Mother going back to our belief system, and we no, no. Yeah, he does. Y'all check out Divine Prospect. He has a credit repair program. Um, but yeah, this is gonna be an interesting combo. And I just want us to, but I just didn't want to just reschedule and not say anything to y'all. Y'all have been so patient with me for the past couple of weeks and me pushing things back and then sometimes forgetting that I have a live because it'll be so much going on. So y'all, I'm sorry for those instances where I forgot. Y'all probably in the chat waiting on me. But like I said, I'll be home very soon. I'm leaving here in a couple of days and I should be home in the next couple of days and be back to normal. So that's pretty much it. Also, y'all keep everybody in your prayers. This new, I'm not gonna say it, variant is wreaking havoc. In fact, I had to go and get a lollipop, well, not lollipop, but a test. I'm gonna say a test. I had to go get a test today because when my family came to visit, one person found out they were positive. He's back at home now and he's doing better. So because he was around all of us, we had to get up today and go get a test done. So I'm good. My test came out negative. My dad's good. My only concern is my elderly parents. Both of them are fine. My dad, he was like, I ain't got nothing. I know I ain't got nothing. I said, well, come on, let's go. He said, well, I ride with y'all to go get a test, and they gave us a rapid test. So everybody was negative. I'm gonna probably try and get tested again. When I get to town, sometimes it takes a minute. What's funny is when I got up there, I was coughing and they was looking at me. I was like, I don't know, I've been coughing for a minute. This ain't COVID related. This is who I said the word. You know what related. But everybody came out negative. So we're good. My parents are good. My daughter's good. My sister's good. My cousins, everybody that was around are good. But he's sick, and he's at home now. He's doing better. But this new Amarion, that's what I call it, is really, really, really wreaking havoc. It's now almost like a common cold. I've seen a lot of people with it. I've seen a lot of people with it. Heard a lot of people with it. Yeah, it's prevalent. So let's keep everybody in our prayers. Because yeah, this one right here, we ain't even got to the winter yet. Family, we ain't got to that part yet. We still now dealing with this this weird weather. So it ain't cold enough for anybody to get sick, but yeah, people are getting sick. And some worse than others. So, and the reason I sound like that right now is because I got a ceiling fan going on in my old bedroom. So that's why I'm sniffing because I usually try my best not to have a ceiling fan on. So I'm not sick. So, but yeah, I had to rush out today and go get a VED test. I ain't gonna say it, and everything came out negative, so we were good. But yeah, so keep everybody lifted. Y'all be careful out here. Don't get too comfortable. I know we have our own theories when it comes to this disease, which is fine, but still be cautious. I kind of figured it was finna get bad again because folks got too comfortable. Folks, and I shifted subjects. Y'all pray for me. People had gotten too comfortable. People weren't wearing a mask, wasn't putting hand sanitizer on, um, going back into their normal ways. And again, keep in mind, I'm not sick. It's just because of the fan. They're going back to their normal ways. Me, on the other hand, um, I was still doing, certain things. I try to always keep hand sanitizer. I always wear my mask. I always wear a mask. Uh, in fact, when I get on the road, whenever I get on the road, I got rubber gloves to pump gas. And then I throw the glove away. I try not to touch the pump with my bare hand. I put a rubber glove on. And the good thing is, y'all, I actually was cleaning up my parents' bathroom. We were getting ready to have, family was coming over. Y'all know, I'm not, even though I don't celebrate, my family still celebrate the holidays. So my parents being elderly, I didn't want to make my dad and them clean up the way and they were cooking. So I actually got up and cleaned up. Well, what I used was Microban. And if anybody knows anything about Microban, if you clean with it, it seals things for like 24 hours. So if anybody has any sickness or anything, the Microban like sanitizes it for 24 hours. The germs die. So everything I cleaned up with Microban. Don't ask me why. I just all of a sudden said, you know what? Let me clean everything down with Microban. So that may have been our saving grace because I went into a cleaning tizzy and my mom said, that stuff smells good. What is that? I said, it's Microban. She was like, I like that. She didn't realize that I was cleaning up just in case. Um, um, just in case someone has something, and it seals it. So, oh yeah, Brew Queen and Aerospike. That's all. That's the only cleaning product I have now. I bought it by the box. I will say this much, family. The way things are looking, if we have another small shut down, because I'm looking at the news and things starting to look like how it looked 2 years ago, I say go ahead and stock up on your cleaning products because that's the first thing you're gonna hit. I went to Amazon. I bought a box, a big box full of hand sanitizer, a big box full of microban cleaner, a bunch of Lysol wipes, and Lysol cleaner. I'm gonna buy some more stuff over the weekend. Go to Amazon and buy by the bulk. And if something happens, you already have your stuff. Have all your cleaning products. Oh yeah, Microban it's fire. Hold on. You ain't never use Microban. I might be saying wrong because I'm country. Where is it? It's on Amazon and you can get a whole box of it. I need to show y'all my Amazon. All right. This is Microban. Hold on. No, show my YouTube. Hold on, let me find it. Here we go. It's some good stuff, y'all. Here it is this right here. I have this one. It uses Microban disinfectant 24-hour sanitizing and antibacterial spray, all purpose. I have this. I have the citrus scent. It smells really good, and I have a fresh scent too. So I have two boxes. I think I have one box. I have this, and I have a box of this. And it's an aerosol spray, and it's pretty good. It's pretty good. I use it. So, yep, Microban. So yeah, it is a cleaner. Yeah, too. Great thing, right? He's saying get alcohol. Alcohol, because that's another thing that yeah, no D. That's another thing that went fast. No D. So this how I spell. Oh, I spelled it wrong. Hold on. Micro. Man, that's the name of it. Yeah, it kills viruses too. Bleaching Clorox work as well. That's good too. But what I like about the microban is it sanitizes for 24 hours. So let's say somebody touches the doorknob that has the vid. That's what I call it. It kills the germ on the doorknob. Meaning once they move their hand, the germs isn't just sitting there, but the microban kills the germs. And it seals it for 24 hours. Um it kills it's recommended. I guess they say it's recommended to kill hold on, let me look up what it kills. Okay, so it kills 99% of germs, including cold and viruses and flu viruses. So it kills viruses as well. Yep, it acts as a protective barrier for 24 hours. 24 hours. And they have it in the aerosol spray and they have it in the cleaner. And I have both. Um, I have both. I have the spray cleaner and I have the aerosol. In fact, um, when I go and I need to buy the aerosol, when I go to a hotel room, I spray the room with it, with the aerosol spray. In fact, I'm gonna stop and go get some tomorrow. So when I do go on the road, I have it. My mom has a can here, but I don't want to take her can home. I'm gonna keep her can here. I think that's my can, but I left it. Gave it to her. But yeah, they say it is good, and I promise y'all, I honestly believe that's what probably kept us because that's what I use to clean up the house. Um, Especially the bathroom. I scrub the bathroom down. Faucet handles, toilet seats, everything. The walls were scrubbed down with microban. The doorknobs were scrubbed down with microban. So if anybody had the virus, if they put their hand on the doorknob, it would kill the germ. It would protect it. So oh yeah. So so wow, they do. I didn't know that. A cutting board. I gotta look it up. That's interesting. Yeah, get your supplements as well. I need to reach out to Sheila. I want to pull her on. I want her to kind of talk to our immune systems as we go into this winter and the stuff that's going on. What do we need to do as far as some vitamins and whatnot? Because again, this COVID thing ain't going away, y'all. It's not. And I said it again. Jesus, yeah, it's already in the air. But I already said it. But yeah, it ain't going nowhere. It's gonna be. It's for here. It's here to stay. So thanks. I will say this much: when you go to the gas pump, have some good medical plastic gloves. Do not touch your bare hand on that pump. Um, and again, Saints, y'all know I cough all the time with you, but don't use your hand when your bare hand when you're using the pumps. Start if you ain't wearing your mask, start back wearing your mask. Use hand sanitizer. Um, Use hand sanitizer. Um, and if you don't have hand sanitizer, just buy some alcohol and put a little alcohol. I've done this before. This is just what I do. I'm not saying do it, but this is what I do. I get one of those travel size containers, and if I'm running out of hand sanitizer and I don't have any more left, I put the rest of the no, I don't get a travel size bottle. I just get the travel size bottle, the bottle that I use for hand sanitizer. Um, and if I'm running low, I just go get some alcohol and pour alcohol in it, shake it up, and then I still use it. I try to get 70% alcohol. I try to get the highest I can. So you ain't got no alcohol. Yeah, that's why I say get those plastic gloves when you're dealing with the gas tanks. But yeah, I shake it up and put your hand sanitizer back on the same. Because it's bad out here right now. I mean, when I went to the line was wrapped around another building to get tested, and everybody needs to know someone with it. But yeah, make sure y'all get y'all cleaning products. Because if we end up having another incident, the first thing they're gonna go for is them cleaning products. And like I said, you can go to Amazon and get like a box of 3 or 4 microbands for like $19. I think 16. Let me see. Let me check. Amazon, yeah, a box of how many is it? 4 count for $13. It's $13 on Amazon. $13. You get a box of 4 for 13. It's gonna cost you 13 just to get 2. Yep, toilet tissue as well. um, Thank you, Angela. She said I have a whole kit in my purse. Oh, I'm glad you said that. I need to go buy me some alcohol wipes. The big alcohol wipes where you wiping your hands, because I use that to wipe my hands as well. I'm like that. I got a whole kit too. I agree with Angela. She said she got a whole kit in her purse, a whole kit. I don't blame you. I have a whole kit in my huge purse that I carry. I got a downsizing purses, but I got a, in it. I got a whole armrest full of disposable masks. That's funny. She said I got a kit too. Yes, I have a kit. Yep, I have one of my. But in it, I have hand sanitizer that's in the car, a mask, plenty of mask, and some gloves, some plastic gloves. I got enough gloves. I gave my mom my box of gloves, but I grabbed enough for me to have in the car so when I do get on the road and head home, I can use it every time I go to the pump. I had gotten a little lazy and chilled and was just touching the naked pump, gas pump handle and pumping gas. It wasn't thinking through it, but praise y'all that I'm not sick of anything. So just make sure y'all got y'all stuff, man. And I tell y'all, and what they're gonna do is as things get worse, they're gonna jack up the prices for these cleaning products. And while it's cheap, get it. I would say, and it ain't got nothing to do with what's going on, but just in life, just get you. We learned a lesson from the last lock-in we had, and they kept running out of products. Said you never catch me off guard. So every little bit that you get, $13, $14 here, use that $13 or $20 to go buy a box of cleaning products just to have. And just keep it. I don't use it, and that's crazy. I use my cheap cleaning products because you know what, the way I wash dishes, I really don't need to have microban because I put bleach in my dishwater. Yes, I do. I put bleach in my dishwater. So because I put bleach in my dishwater when I'm wiping my counters and cabinets and everything down, is wipe with dishwater and bleach, so it's cleaned. So I don't use a lot of I don't use a lot of my stockpile. Uh, I have that put to the side, and I just use my normal little cheap cleaning products. Because I don't want to start using my stuff up and then I don't have it. So and in fact, I need to buy another box of hand sanitizer and some more stuff. Because something is going on because um I've heard through the grapevine that some of the schools have started, these colleges are pushing their date to return for the students to return back. We've been impacted by that. So schools are even concerned. These colleges that were open are afraid to open right now. And I heard through the grapevine some of these colleges might go virtual because they're concerned. Oh, y'all catch the troll, catch the troll. The trolls are here. Oh my gosh. Not today, not today, Saints. Thank y'all for catching them. Oh my goodness. I'm so tired of these trolls. And somebody told me these trolls have been real busy. Thank you, Angela, Aerospike. Who else called them? Y'all catching them. And the other people that's been catching these trolls, they've been trying to slip in here. Okay, Aerospike said he found a site that sells the N95 mask. I hate those masks. I cannot breathe, Aerospike. I cannot breathe when I have those masks on. Oh, I can't. I can't. I just got a normal mask. So we'll just get your mask together. Thank you, mods. My mods are on point. They don't play with these people. Um, but yeah, just get all your stuff together. Make sure you got all your stuff set aside. Make sure you got plenty little things that we forget about. And I may do a segment on this. Little things that we forget about. Tylenol, allergy medicines, um, things like that that you would need, and if something happens, it would disappear. Like for instance, I have cough drops. I went to the store tonight to go get me some cough drops. Guess what? I went into the store. They didn't have too much of any because everybody took all the cough drops because they're dealing with this new variant. So go ahead and stockpile all your little things. Start small and just put it to the side. Put it to the side because in a little bit, yep, you ordered a box too. Yep, it's good too. Like I said, my cousin came in and because I knew, I said some just nothing but the spirit of God. I'm gonna tell you something. That had to be God. I started cleaning. Some was like use the microwave because I went for the normal Clorox spray bottle and was getting ready to spray stuff down. Clear day, Spirit said, get the something said, go get that microband. And I went and started cleaning with the microband. I didn't even use bleach. I used all microband. And I used like bleach in certain spots, like clean out the toilet, clean it with the inside of it with bleach, but I still sprayed it down with the microband. And I think it worked. I think that's one of the things that worked. So if he put his hand on that doorknob coming out of the bathroom, guess what? When he put his hand on that doorknob, the microband was right there with all its strength saying, "We got you." So, but I may do a segment about it. We're just not gonna call it what it is because they're blocking channels. But I will say we still need to kind of talk through certain things you need to have and stockpile on. All your little stuff you need. For family, I'm getting ready to go to bed. Yep, that's a good one too. Ginger, garlic, lemon, and turmeric and honey. Simmer 10 minutes, drain, and pour in. Oh, okay. Oh gosh, it sounds like that's not going to be tasty. It sounds like it's going to be nasty, but I'm just going to take it anyway. But I think that's it. Just y'all stay prayed up. Y'all be careful out here. Like I said, don't get too comfortable when you're not wearing your mask. I know some of y'all have a problem with what the media is saying. That's fine. She said 1 shot per day. I may do that, but Don't get too comfortable. Keep your hand sanitizer. Keep your mask on. Walk around here without no mask and you're wondering why. Yeah, just have your mask on. But I think that's it. And I wanted to talk to y'all because and just say hello. Yes, drink plenty of water. Plenty of stay hydrated. Stay hydrated. So um again, if y'all hear the congestion, it's not that. I had a negative test. It's just this fan. But y'all, love y'all so much. I wanted to kind of say some of y'all tonight because I had meant to do a live and I knew I hadn't gotten prepared. I'm gonna be honest, I wasn't prepared and I wanted the certain people to be on it. I hadn't reached out to them. So but make sure that your email is on the about tab, right? Yes. But here's my email address for those. CE dot. Y'all, I don't even know my own. 60. Let me see. Sister E dot. Let's talk at gmail.com. But it is on my about tab as well. That's my email. All right, family. Love y'all. Y'all keep my family in prayer. And God would like to this week. We're going to get on the road this week. I finish up the rest of this next couple of days. I got to finish up on some work before I leave. So this week, after I get done with everything, I'm hitting the road and I'm headed back home. Praise God. So, love y'all and y'all stay protected out here for this season. Oh yeah, gas getting ready to spike up. I forgot to tell y'all. I heard it on the news, so look into that. I mean, talk about that gas is for the spike up, like almost $4 a gallon. For some of us, it's used to $2. That's what they said by May it's gonna hit its peak. So just yeah, be careful with the tap water. Yep, but yep. But y'all have a good one. I'm getting ready to go to bed so I can get bright and early and take care of some more business. Work it is. Get myself ready to leave this week to head back to the B town. Yeah, it is already high J high but they said it's gonna get worse. So yep, he said it's already high. Yeah, it is. It's gonna get worse. So all right. And also have your little slush fund as well. Have some cash at home just in case some stuff go down. You got cash because these environments going down like AWS and all these different platforms and services are going down for whatever reason. And these days you probably can't get to your ATM and use your ATM and use your debit card for that. So make sure you have a slush fund. Your email address is right. That is the right email address. Did you type the right thing in? Let's talk at gmail.com. Go check and make sure you're using the right email address. Or did I put the right thing? Let me see. Yep, that's the right one. It may be. Where is it saying it's not a? Oh, okay. All right, y'all. Well, I'm getting ready to cut out. Love y'all, and I'll see y'all later this week. I'll still do something. Um, people talk about what's going on in the news, and so I can get all my content and stuff together. So I won't totally be disconnected. But thank y'all for supporting me. I am getting, in fact, to get rid of these bots. I found out that you can set where if a subscriber, if you're not subscribed to the channel, you can't make comments. So no bots can come in here. So I'm gonna go see if I can set the configuration where if you're not a sub, you can't comment. Um, and we can go from there. But I don't know why he's still on talking because he ain't got nothing else to do. I listen to some of it. I listen to it help me pack. Start my packing rather. So we learn to get all my stuff packed. So, but yeah, I'm getting ready to cut out, y'all. Love y'all. Y'all have a good one, and I will see y'all this week. Like I said, when I get home, I'll see y'all this week. Y'all bless.